Welcome to Whispers of Healing, where we speak the unspoken, heal what's been hidden for too long, and guide your heart back to the love it truly deserves. A notable trend is seen when an older man is with a younger woman in public. It often gets applause. He's viewed as successful, embodying masculinity and strength, becoming the hero of a romantic tale. His age shows experience and dominance. He gains praise and admiration for staying relevant, as if time itself is his achievement. However, when a mature woman chooses to share her life with a younger man, the reaction shifts quite dramatically. The applause fades away, replaced by nervous laughter, judgmental whispers, and eyebrows raised in surprise. She is often labeled as ridiculous, desperate, and irrelevant, as if her desires are mistaken and her love has no right to exist. This serves as a prime example of the double standard that permeates our society. It's like looking into a distorted mirror, where male maturity is perceived as an attraction, while female maturity is viewed as a flaw. However, the most paradoxical aspect is that this perception is not rooted in truth, but rather in fear. Fear of a woman who no longer seeks permission. Fear of a woman who chooses her own path. For centuries, the patriarchal system has been defining a woman's value based on her youth, fertility, and obedience. A woman's body was turned into a commodity, and her biological clock was used as a ticking countdown timer to oblivion. Love stories were deemed genuine only if they adhered to specific rules that regrettably were not established by women. In modern times, a number of these old-fashioned beliefs continue to persist, often disguised as concern, well-meaning advice, and a sense of realism. What's even more troubling is that they not only judge women based on their appearance, but they also reach into their minds, poisoning their own thoughts. When a mature woman falls in love with a younger man, she confronts not only the judgment from society, but also her own fears, doubts, and insecurities that have been ingrained by years of social conditioning. The healing process starts by understanding that personal beliefs shape reality. Remember, everyone has the right to awaken, choose themselves, and love without worrying about others' opinions. Social judgment can be an unseen wound, leaving deep internal scars. When a woman repeatedly hears her love is misplaced, her body unwanted, or she is out of place, something inside her starts to shrink. Initially, she might try to defend herself, laugh it off, and claim that she doesn't care. However, as time passes, these words start to seep into the deepest corners of her soul, slowly and imperceptibly transforming into her own thoughts. Doubts start to creep in, such as, what if I truly look ridiculous? What if he's merely using me? What if I'm just a temporary fling for him? The most insidious form of violence is the one that makes a person turn it against themselves. Inside each of us resides a harmful internal dialogue, a voice that has been ingrained since childhood, which constantly criticizes, belittles, and instills a sense of inferiority. This voice becomes particularly active during our moments of joy and aspiration, persistently reminding us that we supposedly don't deserve to be where we are. This is where the root cause of emotional self-sabotage is found. We often confuse desire for a need, perceive love as a temporary phenomenon, and view others' favorable choices towards us as a mistake. This does not truly reflect who we are at our core. Rather, it is the outcome of many years of indoctrination. This is not our intuition speaking, but rather fear that has been learned over time. However, there is another path we can take, one that involves reprogramming our beliefs. We are not destined to endlessly repeat the lessons we have learned. Feelings of guilt, shame, and fear are not inherent to our identity. They are simply layers that can be removed through awareness, self-love, and consistent daily practice. It is crucial to make a declaration. I let go of the need to feel unworthy. I truly deserve the best of everything. That encompasses loving, desiring, and connecting with a younger man if it genuinely aligns with my heart's true choice. Healing starts with a conscious decision to cease believing the lies, to stop living a life of apologizing for our true selves, and to begin treating ourselves with the tenderness and respect we have always deserved. To gaze at ourselves with eyes filled with love rather than judgment. You are not broken, nor are you a mistake, but rather a woman with a rich history, an inner fire, and profound beauty. The love you receive is not merely a favor, it is a reflection of what you have permitted yourself to accept. Now is the time to allow yourself even more, much more than before. The phrase, "he's only with you for the money," is more than just an accusation. It's a gross oversimplification that reduces a woman to an emotional ATM. This phrase is often spoken with sneer, disbelief, and anger. However, it becomes most dangerous when it starts to echo within us, tainting every gesture of love with the poison of suspicion. Where do these lies originate? They arise from a culture that struggles to accept the idea that a younger man could be drawn to more than just youthful looks. It comes from a society that refuses to acknowledge the possibility that maturity, emotional stability, intelligence, and authenticity are qualities that can be profoundly attractive. This skewed perspective suggests to women that if procreation isn't an option, then they must compensate with material offerings. It overlooks the genuine wealth you hold, like your emotional wisdom, the conscious presence you maintain, and your ability to love sincerely without any deception or manipulation. Contrary to what many might believe, the facts actually indicate otherwise. Research shows that young men who choose to enter into relationships with mature women highly value their deep emotional world, their openness in communication, and their self-assuredness. It is not about running away from maternal care. Rather, it is about discovering a partner who is fearless in being her true self. Women who have experienced a profound inner transformation and have made peace with themselves possess an astonishing allure. Often, those who sow seeds of doubt are motivated by their own insecurities and internal voids. They find irritation in what they fail to understand, and they feel uneasy when encountering an independent woman because deep within they yearn for that same bravery. My value is not measured by my bank account or material possessions. Rather, it is defined by who I am as a person. And you are something that cannot be purchased, a beacon, a wealth of life experiences, a resilience and unquenchable fire. So today, I challenge you to question this imposed belief, to cast off this burden, to return this suspicion to the one who planted it, and to assert your truth. Yes, I am cherished not for what I give, but for who I truly am. You are merely a fleeting infatuation. Few words pierce so deeply. In that phrase lies the venom of an ominous rejection, the agony of being rejected before it even happens. It's a doubt that emerges during intimate moments when everything appears to be going so beautifully. And then suddenly there's a thought. It can't continue for long. I'm merely a phase in his life. This lie stems from the myth about young men's inability to love deeply, their constant emotional immaturity, and their unwillingness to commit. However, such a perception not only belittles them, but it also denies them a much more significant aspect. A mature woman might not be selected just as a temporary crossing bridge, but rather as a genuine destiny, a loyal partner, and a companion throughout life's journey. Historically, the concept of women being seen as mere temporary phenomena has been utilized to diminish any form of feminine power that isn't linked with motherhood or youth. If your purpose isn't to raise offspring or to embellish the world with your presence, then you're often perceived as merely a temporary phenomenon. This kind of logic can make us question ourselves when someone shows love for us outside of the typical social norms we are used to. However, the actual facts and evidence reveal a different narrative. Various surveys and studies indicate that a significant number of younger men truly appreciate the emotional maturity, independence, and authenticity they discover in older women. They are not merely seeking a fleeting infatuation, but rather they are in search of peace of mind, genuine sincerity, and a profound connection. They aim to build a relationship on a new foundation where self-sabotage plays a role. If you're truly convinced that you are merely a stage, then you'll start to act in that manner. You'll hasten things to make the end come sooner. You'll become defensive too early, which will ultimately destroy what might have flourished. I hold a belief in enduring, profound, and enriching relationships. I choose to place my trust in the quality of love rather than in the number of years spent together. Because a union that is born in the heart doesn't require the sanction of the calendar or any approval from the outside world. Today, I challenge you to break free from the shackles of lies, to gaze into the eyes of the man who loves you, and allow yourself to accept love without conditions. Let go of the fear of an imminent end and trust in the present moment. You are not just a fleeting phase, you are an entire universe, and anyone who is honored to accompany you on this journey will surely realize this. You are desperate. There is no stigma more unfair and filled with hidden misogyny than this. Desperate is not merely a definition, it's a severe judgment. It doesn't matter how reasonable you are, how carefully you make your decision, or how genuine your feelings might be. If a mature woman decides to pursue love with a younger man, she is instantly suspected of lacking something, of attempting to fill an emotional void, or of being drawn to him as a sign of weakness instead of strength. Ironically, this accusation is never directed towards men. When a mature man enters into a relationship with a young woman, no one mentions his deep, perhaps even desperate desire to feel young again. In fact, quite the opposite happens. It is often seen as admirable. Yet, if you as a woman have a similar longing, and you consciously choose to allow yourself the chance to be happy, you are accused of losing control. Allegedly, you are acting unworthily. After all, how dare a woman follow her desires without seeking permission? This falsehood has roots that stretch back for centuries. For many, many years, the desires of women have been closely controlled, harshly judged, and actively suppressed. A woman feeling attraction was once considered a threat. A woman making her own choice was seen as scandalous. A woman who didn't wait to be chosen but instead took the initiative was viewed as desperate. Even today in the 21st century, that specter still lingers and haunts us. However, desire is not a flaw. It is a vital life force, a source of creative energy, and clear evidence that you are truly alive. Experiencing desire aligns you with your true essence, not your weakness. I don't need external validation. I embrace myself as I am and greet my desires with love and dignity. This is the true revolution, not justifying, explaining, or diminishing your feelings to make them seem acceptable, but living them consciously and with pleasure. So today, give that word back to the world. You are not desperate, you are determined, free, and aware. If you choose to love, it's of your own free will. You don't seek approval, but intimacy, and that's your true strength. He will leave you for a younger man. This is one of the most painful and paralyzing lies. It not only instills fear, but it also casts a shadow over every display of tenderness, every promise made, and each moment of shared happiness. This is due to the ever-present threat of being replaced, as if the love you feel today is destined to be overtaken from the start. It feels as if your only competitor is time itself, and inevitably you find yourself losing this ongoing battle. This prevalent myth regarding relationships where the woman is older actually reveals society's ingrained fear that a mature woman might truly be loved. If such genuine love exists, it challenges the ingrained beliefs that only youth deserves love, attention, and future opportunities, causing undeniable discomfort. Public opinion frequently suggests that he is with you now, but as soon as someone younger comes along, he will undoubtedly leave you. So what does this idea generate in us? It generates anxiety, leads to constant comparisons, and creates an incessant need for self-control. It also fosters a painful yearning to prove your worth, making you compete for attention and strive to convince everyone that you are still good enough. It's a highly effective method to keep a woman living in a constant state of fear and insecurity. Nonetheless, a genuine relationship isn't constructed on age differences, but rather on a profound emotional bond. Psychological research indicates that couples with significant age gaps, as long as they are emotionally compatible and their intentions are transparent, tend to exhibit more effective communication, demonstrate greater emotional maturity, and show a reduced inclination toward manipulation and power dynamics. There are countless examples of well-known women who have been cherished by younger men for many years. These relationships have been free of scandals, cheating, and tragedy. When love is genuine, age becomes irrelevant. It's crucial to understand that I don't need to compete with anyone. I am unique and complete on my own. I am loved for being myself. That's the kind of love you truly deserve. A love that is free from timelines, threats, comparisons, conditions, and expiration dates. Today, I challenge you to dispel that fear, to stop constantly looking back, and to let go of the expectation of being rejected. Remember, you are not here to be replaced, you are here to be chosen. And when you choose yourself, everything else falls into place naturally. Another common lie goes like this: since they can't have children, this relationship is pointless. This is truly one of the most cold, calculating, and cruel phrases one can say. Deep down, it suggests that if your body can't give birth, your love loses value. Without procreation, the relationship seems meaningless, reducing love to biology, justifying existence only through motherhood. This belief is deeply rooted in an outdated patriarchal paradigm that defines a woman solely based on her reproductive abilities, considering her primarily suitable for the roles of bearing and raising children. But if you can't do that anymore, what's your purpose? What is your purpose? Such a vision is not only wrong but offensive because it reduces the most sacred human bond, love, to just a physiological function. It overlooks that many people have never wanted children, and that doesn't make them any less fulfilled. It ignores the different forms of motherhood: to support, to inspire, to create, to protect, to teach, and to love deeply. It overlooks the reality that the heart, while lacking a womb, possesses memory, wisdom, and an endless yearning to love and connect deeply. Recent trends reveal a fascinating transformation. An increasing number of couples, irrespective of age, are consciously deciding against having children. They are choosing instead to focus on strengthening their partnerships, traveling together, and enjoying the liberty to express themselves beyond the confines of traditional family structures. This naturally is also a form of family, a union grounded in a profound spiritual connection, mutual respect, tenderness, and the shared pursuit of personal growth and fulfillment. The real value of a relationship like this does not require validation through the continuation of the species. Your worth is not defined by your ability to have children, but rather by your capacity to love and to be loved in return. Family is not solely created by blood connections, but by a deep kinship of the soul. You form relationships driven by genuine desire and the freedom to choose. It's time to challenge and dispel the false beliefs that society has imposed and to reconsider the true meaning of your relationships. Your life is truly filled with profound meaning, as you are a part of a new kind of love, one that is measured not by the number of children's cradles, but by the depth of emotional connection you share. It is commonly believed that over time your partner will mature and eventually surpass you. This insidious lie, like a whisper in your ear, suggests that the current harmony you enjoy is only temporary, and that there will come a moment when he evolves and realizes you were merely a phase in his development, a stepping stone to something greater, to someone who is more suitable and equal to him. However, it is a misconception to think that growing up always means distancing oneself from love, as if emotional growth demands leaving behind those who have supported and inspired us. Does evolution truly mean separation? On the contrary, the most robust and profound relationships emerge from a connection that goes beyond mere age. The alignment of values, shared life goals, and emotional compatibility are crucial factors. It's not just about numbers, it's really about finding common ground and fostering mutual understanding. Furthermore, this misconception is deeply rooted in sexism. When a grown man has a young partner, he is seldom warned that she will eventually grow up and leave him. Instead, he often receives admiration for being able to attract such a bright woman. In contrast, you are warned as if you are merely a temporary stop and not the ultimate destination. Nonetheless, studies indicate otherwise. When a relationship is truly grounded in respect, honesty, and shared goals, the age difference is not merely not a problem, but it can actually enhance and enrich the bond. After all, the process of growing older is not about creating distance, but rather about learning how to love more deeply and with greater awareness. As Louise rightly points out, we grow together by moving in the same direction. Age does not limit your potential to build a fulfilling and joyful life together. Your story is not just a pause or a temporary learning curve, but a continuous journey. You are a woman on a profound journey, and you have chosen to walk alongside someone who truly resonates with your soul. Therefore, I suggest today that we put aside those obsessive thoughts about an ending that might not even be real. Instead, let's celebrate each step we take forward, each achievement we make, not out of fear of missing out on something, but because we have faith in the process of creation. After all, growing together and developing mutually is also a beautiful manifestation of love, a love that is deep and truly genuine. Imagine two trees, their roots deeply intertwined, growing upward in unison. They support one another through fierce storms, and together they celebrate the warmth of the sun on bright, clear days.